Hey y'all, today is officially the 11th, I believe, or the 10th. I don't know, I only got about 12 hours of sleep in the last 6 or 7 days or so because I've been participating in Hanane's Squid Game. I can't really go into details about that, but this is the most recent upload for her channel. Regardless, yo, I am going to go ahead and go to sleep soon because I just finished game 2 and my stress and my anxiety have been up the roof between coming and going from work and trying to get my schedule in check and do everything that I possibly can do. I'm just gonna point out that I love you all. I hope you are doing very well. I hope y'all's weekend was well. I was going to add a more constructive part of thing for this video, but my brain had been gone awry and I just could not comprehend what I was doing recently, and it's just been hell. But y'all are great. This is gonna be a really long video, but had to be done. There was a lot of mistakes. I'm not really gonna cover them right now, but I would say breaking up the clumps of the soil and then pulling out the root was not the best course of action. Fortunately, in my favor, most of my Pak Choi did survive and they did transplant successfully, but y'all are going to get really cringe reactions, but that's okay. They don't die. Only 2 plants die, and those were like the itty bitty ones that just didn't have really high success rate to begin with. But this one's probably gonna like nervous rack everybody, but it's okay. They do survive, and they are currently in my beds right now as we speak because my inside of my apartment is empty now. I no longer have roommates. Depression is finally kicking in. Anyway, y'all, I love y'all. Take care. There may not be an upload this Sunday because I have to upload my second collaboration with Oak Dice. It is a League of Legends video on my gaming channel, but we will resume an upload next week. And then I think Sunday or Wednesday is going to be a little bit of, not necessarily a journal entry, but it is going to be a unique video. And then I'll have another one probably 2 weeks from now. It'll be recovering about, like, not recovering, but like recalling my full 1 year in Asheville. And that might take a while. It's going to be uploaded on the 16th and 18th, just to let y'all know. Aside from that, y'all be safe, be well. I love y'all. Take care. Dude, Howard and Steve's tomato is not looking. I thought it was going to ripen today, but it looks like it's got some pus or something in here. It also smells kind of weird. Well, that is a shame. I guess there it goes with the wilds, dude. So today is October the 21st. This is the Azalea room. So the guests that we had here were kind of insane. Like, if we, they wanted the heat changed up, but if we did that, it would make other rooms super duper hot or other rooms super duper cold, depending on what temperature wave that we were going to go with and with the request. And this couple was from Pennsylvania, and we were getting 40s at night, and they said that it was too hot in their room. So they had the windows open, and their room got really cold. And then they were complaining about bats flying in. Like, what do I do if a bat gets in? I'm like, well, first of all, bats are going to be close to the cave since they're getting 40 at night. Anyway, these guests were just literally insane. I don't know what to say about it. I don't know what to not say about it. They're not my issue. They never were my issue because I didn't really have to interact with any guests. I hate interacting with most guests. But it turns out that they left like a Bible or a pamphlet or something in their room, and they had something scribbled on a notepad right next to it, and it was something pretty nasty and derogatory. I won't go into the details, but that Bible was disposed of. It was not left to my discovery. It was just told to me later. People, you can't, like, just do that. That's really rude, honestly. Like, that's super duper rude. Don't do that. I am a Christian, but, like, don't go and harass me like that. That's messed up. I don't harass people and spread my Christianity beliefs upon the world. I don't do that. I will tell people not to judge them because I won't judge anyone. But I also don't believe other people should be judging people. That's just me. But I'm not gonna worry about it. Yeah, I'm used to this kind of thing, you know. So we're gonna get on to work and then hopefully get home as soon as possible to start cleaning up my apartment because we're gonna have parents gonna come over. It's gonna be good. We'll make chili. Riley is outside right now and I'm trying to get her to come here, but she refuses to come. I'm thinking maybe if I get her on camera, she might come. Riley! 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 Come here! Come here! Come here! Come here! It's not happening. Let's see if we can get her. Come here! Riley! 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 Come here! Come here, Riley! Come here! Come here! Come here! I got a treat. I got a treat. Come here! Come here! Come here! Come here! Come here! Come here, Riley! 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 Yes, I patted another dog. I know, you're mad at me because I patted another dog. What do you mean? Back to work. One last room to go. So we are done for the day. We're going home. I asked Pa if he would take me to Earth Fair so we can have some protein for dinner tonight. I'm still mad about him about not eating like all the chicken, and eating all of the egg noodles that I wanted to eat more of since I am technically a vegetarian. So I don't know, but he's gonna take me. We're gonna get some protein and then we're gonna put it in our chili tonight. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and let 2 cups of black beans, 1 cup of red beans, and then 1 cup of pinto beans soak. I should have let this happen all day, but it's gonna soak in here. It's gonna discolor everything, but it should be fine. Within an hour, without an hour or and a half, they should be like softening up, filling up with water, and then we can go ahead and just put it in Instant Pot, but we have other chores to do. First and foremost, we gotta go get some protein. All right, so we are back. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm sorry, I always look ugly, especially. All right, so I couldn't find any tempeh, so we're just gonna go with some sausage. This will be kind of hard for me to put into chunks for it, but this is the protein that we were using today. The lady said that this was really good, and I did let her know that I've had only tofu protein, so this will be interesting trying the field roast. We did talk about the chow cheese and the field roast cheese that I like both as well. So, new and devour. I also picked up some tofu pieces. This is probably for like a lunch or like a breakfast later this week. I'm not going to taste any of it yet, but I will show you what it looks like. So there's 2 pieces. It's basically like fried chicken. So there's like 2 Cajuns and then 2 Asians. This is the Asian one. And then this one right here is the Cajun. So that'll be interesting. I bought this from Earth Fair, by the way, along with all the stuff here. Next that I found interesting was the seitan. That was beefless, so it was like beef flavored seitan. It kind of looks like this, but it has like kind of like a shredded like pork type of variety. So I'll have this later this week too. I'll figure out what I'll do with it probably next week. I'll put this in the freezer for now. And then I found some of this. So I'm also gonna try this as well. It's vegan tuna. And Wog Dad, aka Tim, tried some vegan tuna as well. I don't think this is the same brand. It's definitely not the same brand because he's Australian and I'm American. But I will eventually have, I guess, technically a review on this one as well. Should be interesting to see how this works out for a sandwich, which will be really delicious. Anyway, y'all, we have a lot of things to do. We have to clean up the property so we can have our family here. And then make dinner. I gotta have it done by, I guess, technically 7:30. And I have a lot of prep to do, but I do want to clean up the living room a lot. And then hopefully I can start making dinner. So I am really pressed for time here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and show you what I'm making, but I'm not going to go by step because this is the first time making this and I have no idea how this is gonna turn out, but I will show you the ingredients. 1 whole sweet sweet onion. We're going to use 6 cloves of garlic, minced, 3 Anaheim diced peppers, 1 full carton of vegetable broth, field roast sausage that I'm probably gonna put into slices because I won't have time to mince it and mush it so it can turn into chili sustenance. And of course, our concoction of 2 cups of black beans, 1 cup of pinto beans, and 1 cup of red beans. And that's gonna be it. So I'll hop to it. And then what I'll do is I will let it high pressure cook on my Instant Pot for 18 minutes, let it cool down for 10 minutes, and then add in the meat, pressure cook it again for another 18 minutes, and then let it sit for 10 minutes. And it should be good to eat for dinner. I am stressing the hell out. I just canceled the dinner plans, even though I was technically making it. I had so much stuff I had to clean up and do, and I got water all over my pants. I'm feeling super duper overwhelmed. I didn't get enough time to prepare. My freaking stuff is still not fully preheated so that it can start pressure cooking. And I didn't even make anything properly the way that it needed to be. And I'm pissed. It's too much. It's too much. So I just canceled the plans. I'm not going to give them any of the meal, give them some of the leftovers. It's not going to be completely prepared the way that it needs to be prepared. And I don't know. I feel super, super duper self-conscious about what they're going to think about my property. Because it's a mess. I never seem to have it the way that it needs to be, perfect. It's never completely clean. There's always clutter. It's just a bunch of stuff that my mom always judges me when she sees my rooms or she sees my house or however I keep the place. And I just didn't have enough time to prepare dinner, get it organized to cook, get my property cleaned up. Everything is just freaking mess, and it's freaking too much. It's too much. I'm sure the meal is going to be perfect for me. It's not going to be perfect for how I want to share it, but yeah, I hate it. I like when I plan something and everything goes in the way that it's not supposed to go. So I just called off the dinner plans because I would rather just have more time to clean up my own property than to worry about what other people are gonna condescend me. You know what I mean? I'm tired. I need to lie down or do something. I don't know. So I'll be honest, that was not my proudest moment. And sorry about that. I do feel a hell of a lot better. And yeah, I'm sorry. Y'all didn't really need to see that. I just felt super duper overwhelmed yesterday. And it was way too much for myself. Again, I'm sorry. I'm doing much better today, and hopefully we'll do better today. My solvent ability tells me that we're only gonna have like 2 or 3 rooms to do today, so I'm not too concerned. Technically, I should have been at work like 30 minutes ago, or an hour, give or take, depending on whose alarm clock you're looking at. But it's not really a concern. I'm just kind of doing my own thing. I got sent like 4 text messages and I ignored a phone call. I was just mentally shut down. Let's go look at my garden real quick. It is October 22nd. It looks like some of my Pak Choi managed to survive. We're getting a few more peppers in as well, like 3 right here. Lucifer is still hanging on. I think it's about time for me to pick the sweet potatoes over here and the russet potatoes right here soon. I figured out a cure method for that. We'll probably go into that at a later time. I'm not really sure if I should pull these out, but we're gonna try and salvage some of the Pak Choi over here. My morning glory over here finally bloomed. It's really pretty, by the way. And then, yeah, this is like celery or parsley. I'm probably gonna pick this up and eat it too. Probably put it in a meal or something. But pretty good. But yeah, I gotta save this Pak Choi. It's not looking too great, to be honest. It's making a comeback, but I should have done it sooner. And yes, I think it's pretty much time for me to start picking out my radishes. They've been in here for a while. This one made a huge comeback, though. I had to get rid of the, Steve's first Ken here. It was not looking so good. These are getting bigger, though, on Steve and Howard. This is Howard's tomatoes. And then these are Steve's tomatoes. You can tell because this one's the biggest one right here. So all together, 3 and 2. Hopefully they can grow before they get rotted this time, because Steve's one, firstborn child, became a little bit rotted. I guess we'll go on to work. Willow disappeared though, but that's okay. She was with us in memory. Set 1 turnover, Magnolia Room. Let's get going. Looking at the schedule, it looks like I am off Saturday. And then Sunday we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 turnovers. Of which 1, 2, 3. So 3 have to be done tomorrow, and then 4 can be done whenever. We are finally free for the day. I didn't show you this earlier, but I've got some flowers blooming on my Pak Choi here. I think this is called bolting. I'm not too sure. I didn't know it could technically bolt indoors, but this is part of the stem. I'm not making that up. So yeah, this is gonna make me super nervous because I have no idea if these are gonna transplant to these containers safely without being damaged, but we'll see. We're gonna do that because these are a little bit too big for the environment, and they're kind of like, too much. But we're gonna do that. But first things first. Here are my new saplings. They're doing quite well, actually. I think we'll have to, we can take off the top soon, I think so. I'll give it until Monday, and then we'll take them off, and I'll let them be free the way that they need to be free. But we're gonna go ahead and do RuneScape farm runs, and then we'll go take care of this stuff. So I'll be honest, I have no idea if when I transfer these over to these smaller pots, whether or not that's going to kill my Pak Choi. But I am gonna go ahead and take some pictures of my Pak Choi before I start trying to save them into smaller pots. Again, I don't know if this is going to cause them to die. I'm hoping it's not. I can eat them, but at the same time, to reduce soil transfer shock. I'm just gonna use the same soil that they've been growing in God knows how long. I think that will do what I want to do. Okay, so the goal I think is to uproot. It's probably hard to see what I'm doing here, but you're gonna have to just trust I know what I'm doing, which, to be honest, I really have no idea. I think what I want to do first is to dig out the root first. I think I just broke this branch, so that's not good for me. Okay. Yeah, I did. I broke a branch. That's fine. That is actually a really good root system, to be honest. So I can just, now that I have roots, what I can do is I can stick it, the soil in here, and then probably stick it just like that in the pot. Let me see if I can get this. Like I said, the goal is to use the same permaculture of the soil in order to not cause soil shock. So we have, I think I want to get one more scoop in here. Now I think what I want to do is I want to dig this in an indent. And then we're just going to go ahead and stick this in like so. Oh God. And then we'll just dig it right on top, packing this in. I probably should have done this sooner, to be honest, before it got this huge, because now it's not going to be technically rooted into that said soil. So this really stresses me out a bit, whether or not it's going to re-root, because that's not what we want. That is technically one. I guess we'll move on to here. This one's gonna less stress me out, I think. Okay, and you can see what we're doing. So goal is to dig under softly. I don't want to rake it with the tool because that might sever some of the roots. This is probably going to die. I cut off all the roots from this soil. This one might die. So we're gonna do the same thing again. Try and make a big indent, and then we'll just go ahead and shove this in here. Now I don't know about this one. This one might actually die, to be honest, but I'm trying to be really careful. So I'm trying to stick my fingers in here into the root just to pack it in softly. That's 1 and 2. Now, I'll be honest, I have no idea if these are Pak Choi, to be honest. I didn't really figure this one through. It does technically look like Pak Choi, but that's to be determined. I'll get these in smaller pots and see what happens, but I know that if this is Pak Choi, this one right here, this one's definitely not Pak Choi. So like I said, I have no idea if this means that this bolted. I'm not sure why it would bolt. The other ones are actually technically bolting on top. Now that is because the heater did turn on. It did turn on the heater, so that may mean that it's way too hot. So I have been leaving the window open, but it just produces more heat than when it doesn't produce enough heat. Which is interesting because my biggest Pak Choi, the one that may or may not be survived after I had pulled, I mean, this one has a really good root system pointed in here, but this one was not bolting. So I think under other circumstances, from what this makes sense, is that it will bolt if it's in a small container like this, because there are 3 Pak Chois right inside of this container, and that means that they have to compete for soil space within that pot. And I just let them, you know, sit there too long. So this one, while I'll be able to harvest seeds from this Pak Choi plant, it will always taste bitter no matter what I do. Now, granted, my Pak Choi cooking skills is pretty damn good. I can make anything from bitter to super sweet or savory to sweet. But I think in this one's going to be really hard to deal with. So this will probably ended up to be, I'll take it right back out in winter because it loves 32-degree weather. This will grow very well, 32-degree weather. But these seeds will come in handy because I'll probably harvest these seeds and add it to my seed box collection. But yeah, I'm a little bit stressed out that I know that it's going to be a hard fit for me to start digging out piece by piece and hoping it doesn't break when I rehouse it. That's going to be a little stressful. Now, since there are fewer soils inside this container, I will have to add some new soil. So what I'll do is I'll use the permaculture from the previous containers. Since this has really good soil, it seems to do really well. I'll probably use this one, in fact. This one really allowed the big Pak Choi right here to flourish. So I pulled out the smaller one first, like my plan is. This has a really nice root system. So this, I have really high success rate in terms of regrowing. But I tried to like break down this soil right here, and look what it came up with. So this one bolted more than likely because it was trying to root a root system within the side of that. But this one I have really high confidence. I just have to pull it out bit by bit, really like softly. Oh. Okay. The only depressing part about this is that there's no like soil on it. So this might have a low. We'll see what happens. I got that one right there. Now I just have to get this tangled mess without it breaking too much. I need it to like break a little bit, but not a whole lot. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this probably has the highest success rate, I would say, out of all of them. Now this is technically bolting, so this is not going to be edible. I mean, it will be edible, it just won't taste good. And it does look like I have an extra Pak Choi that did like bolt and reseed itself. It's got 2 little sprigs right here, so I might do something with this one as well. So technically I have 4. So I have 4 Pak Choi to take this materials, this seeded material, the origin material right here, and then I just want to put like a little bit of it in this pot, and then I can add the extra fertile soil from here so that it can reacclimate without dying as I transfer it. All right, so there were some casualties, but for the most part, they seem to be doing a-okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successfully retransplanted Pak Choi. Only time will tell whether or not they survive. I'm hoping they will. I'm hoping they don't end up dying. If it looks like they start to not grow anymore, I probably will consider start eating my Pak Choi, my children. That's kind of depressing to think about that, but I'm sure they taste really good. Except the 2.5 ones that are bolting right now. Those definitely won't taste good. That's for goddamn rabbits. Okay, so probably gonna go over there next. It did look like that they were reseeding, but they look really awful. So I feel like I need to like take those out. I will leave material, I guess origin material that's from that soil bed, and try and retransplant them into here. Or not, just leave it, because that flower bed isn't good soil. I would not know how to take that out, but I do need to probably rebuild this. I guess after winter, because it's already cold as I don't want to be out here. Okay, so there are 15. I pulled out like 11 from this bed right here, and 4 from this bed. That was all that's left. The reason why I pulled them out is because while some of them do have leaves, it is technically getting closer to wintertime, so there's less sun getting over here overall, and they're just now recovering. So some of them bolted, meaning they won't grow, they won't ungrow, primarily the ones without leaves, for instance. And this is a different kind of bolting. This isn't the bolting that is caused from producing seeds, because I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Anyway, so they're basically dormant. They're not dead. They are on the verge of death, but I was carefully about I stuck this in, I guess the shovel, spade, whatever you want to call it. And I stuck it a little bit further away and just raised the dirt underneath without having to pull out the seed. You'll see that some of these pieces, like right here, have some soil, which is what we want. I'm just gonna go ahead and transplant them, bring them back in. I'll probably put them in these communal ones, these bigger ones, so they have room to grow and add more extra soil. And then I guess if they succeed on getting older, I'll put them in individual pots like these. They should be fine. Like I said, they grow like up to 1.5 feet, but they don't require a whole lot of space to grow, especially with how they grow. Although technically I'm pretty sure these leaves are supposed to be pointed upwards, but it doesn't really matter. Okay. I think this is as finely coarse as it needs to be. So, as you know, a bear ended up getting into my package, a blood meal. So things have been growing in here, and that rain has made it like this. I might need to get another package of blood meal, but this blood meal is perfect for, of course, bringing stuff back from the dead, essentially. Pak Choi really loves high nitrogen content, so that's why we use blood meal, of course. So I'll probably mix a little bit in here. I don't know how much, probably 1 more spoonful. Because my concern is getting the leaves regrown as soon as possible, so that way they can fully function, if that makes sense. Because like, they can't photosynthesis without some leaves, and Pak Choi needs leaves to grow. So I got high optimism, yo. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, I can barely see out here, but we are finally done retransplanting all of our Pak Choi. We need to get this inside ASAP before it gets any dark. Tomorrow, or whenever, I need to salvage up this parsley and my peppers before they take any more damage. After it gets down to the first freezing, so 32 degrees, I'll start harvesting my sweet potatoes that are right here and my russet potatoes, and I'll put them in my mom's basement. That is where I determined to cure them, because the basement in my apartment complex can allow sunlight, so that's not actually good for me. With that said, before it gets any darker, let's take care of all this stuff, get it upstairs, and get my normal glasses on because it is way too dark for me to see. We're done. Let's get in here. It's like freaking cold and dark out here. I can barely see. I'm not perfect, and I'm having difficulty growing pineapple. But this is where I put some of my plants. A couple of these need to be thrown out, but some of them are doing okay. We're gonna go ahead and clear up this rack, and then I'll drag my Pak Choi from here onto the rack after I fix it up here. We're done. We just have to transfer all of these onto here. All right, it's all on here. If I need to, well, I'd probably definitely need to start like rearranging these because they're gonna keep growing up and down, and then it's probably more than likely not enough space for my Pak Choi to grow. So I'm gonna be losing a rack or something, or I'll keep a rack, but I'll lower them subsequently. Subsequently, I don't know what the hell I'm saying. Anyway, I'm gonna go take a bath or a shower, get some dinner, like warming up, so I can eat.